Hello friend, in this short video you will learn everything about the smartphone Asus ROG Phone 6 and Asus ROG Phone 6 Pro in a couple of minutes. Let's go. As you would expect from a gaming smartphone, ROG Phone 6 Pro is large and weighty, feels monolithic. And although it is difficult to use it with one hand, the shape of the case is comfortable, and the weight distribution is perfect. The back cover is made of frosted glass, thanks to which there are almost no prints on it, but at the same time the device tries to slip off the hand or off the table. It can also be noted that the camera unit performs slightly, unlike many modern models. On the right are the power and volume buttons, as well as a pair of ultrasonic triggers. On the left side there is a tray for 2 SIM cards highlighted in blue-red in the black version, and an additional USB Type-C connector for charging and connecting accessories such as a cooler. A 3.5mm audio jack and another USB Type-C are located at the bottom, offset on different sides from the center. It is important to note that the old USB 2.0 is used here, and USB 3.1 Gen 2 is on the side, providing data transfer at a much higher speed. In addition, the side Type-C supports DisplayPort 1.4 and allows you to output video to a TV or monitor in 4K at 30 Hz, 1440p at 75 Hz or 1080p at 144 Hz. On the back side there is an RGB inscription, Dare to Play, with the ability to customize it in a small POLED display ROG Vision, capable of displaying both static images and animations. There are also prepared Asus variants, more than 60 pieces, and the ability to create your own using the built-in editor. This screen can also report incoming calls, battery level, and so on. In a regular ROG Phone 6, instead of ROG Vision, just a glowing logo is used. In addition, there is a traditional LED notification indicator on the front above the display. The fingerprint scanner is an optical sub-screen. In most cases, it works quickly and accurately. In continuation of the theme of appearance, it is worth mentioning the branded cooler Aeroactive Cooler 6. It is sold separately and comes with a special bumper case that does not interfere with the cooling of the smartphone. By the 6th generation, Asus has noticeably upgraded this accessory. The cooler is connected via a side USB Type-C connector and has exactly the same through connector, which, if necessary, allows you to charge your smartphone and broadcast the picture to the big screen. The cooler has a customizable backlight. It is noted that the transparent area is not made of the best plastic, which is easily scratched and greatly spoils the appearance of the accessory. There is also a built-in stand that allows you to place your smartphone on a flat surface. This can be convenient when connected to a TV, monitor, or when playing using a gamepad. The cooler itself is securely fastened with a spring-loaded mechanism. In addition, it has 4 physical buttons, which gives even more advantages for gadget owners. In addition to the fan, a Peltier thermoelectric element is installed inside the Aeroactive Cooler 6, which uses electricity so that one side of it is cold and the other side is hot. This significantly increases the cooling efficiency. There are 4 modes of operation of the cooler, which can be controlled via special software on a smartphone. The most powerful of them consumes 7 watts, for which you need to connect an external power source. The sound deserves special attention, because it is one of the few gadgets that support Qualcomm audio technologies. Representatives of foreign media note that the novelty has the best sound among all smartphones. This is facilitated by a pair of front-facing 5 magnetic superlinear speakers measuring 12 by 16 mm with a maximum deviation of 0.8 mm, each of which has its own Cirrus Logic CS35L45 amplifier. As a bonus, set up by specialists of the Swedish company Dirac, impressive frequency characteristics and bass amplification technology are noted. The latter really allows you to feel the low frequencies even in such a compact format. At the same time, Asus has also provided for the possibility of increasing the volume to the detriment of quality, if someone needs it. For example, you can amplify the ringtones of incoming calls to a screeching level. For adherents of wired headphones, there is a 3.5mm audio jack with high-res audio (HRA) certification. This means that it can process and play audio files in 24-bit 96 kHz or 24-bit 192 kHz format and output them to a compatible device. The smartphone has a 6.78-inch AMOLED screen manufactured by Samsung with a resolution of 2448 x 1080 pixels, HDR10+ certification and support for DC dimming flicker reduction technology. The manufacturer claims a peak brightness of 1200 nits, but in tests it was possible to get 501 nits in manual mode and 829 nits in automatic mode. However, such indicators are enough for comfortable reading even under sunlight. There are many color modes in the settings. By default, Optimal is set, corresponding to the DCI-P3 palette, but with somewhat oversaturated shades, especially red ones. In the Natural mode, colors become less flashy. Cinematic equates the delta value to Ideal, and Standard switches to the sRGB color space. If desired, you can manually adjust the white point manually for each of the modes. The maximum refresh rate of the screen is 165 Hz with the ability to switch to 144 Hz, 120 Hz, 90 Hz and 60 Hz. You can also enable automatic mode so that the smartphone adjusts the frequency itself depending on the application used and user actions. In general, journalists praise ROG Phone 6 Pro for the smoothness of the picture. Similarly, they speak about the speed of reaction to touches, which is facilitated by the sampling rate of the touch layer at 720 Hz. The screen instantly responds to any touch and swipe. The camera is triple, with a 50 megapixels main module, Sony IMX766 sensor, without optical stabilization and laser autofocus, a 13 megapixels ultrashire Omnivision OV13B, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. The standard application recognizes a large number of scenes, as evidenced by a special icon in the upper left corner of the screen during shooting. The main camera takes pictures at 12.5 megapixels by default. Daytime shots are obtained with a lot of details and realistic colors. Unless there are small artifacts around small objects caused by a slight increase in sharpness, and a barely noticeable lack of contrast, but nothing critical. You can switch to 50 megapixel mode, but this option is hidden in the application settings. Such images turn out to be a little more detailed and sharp, but the difference with 12.5 megapixel ones should be sought out with a strong approximation. It is important to keep in mind that switching to 50 megapixels limits the operation of HDR, which increases the chance of getting highlights and dips in the shadows. The smartphone makes videos in up to 8K format at 24 FPS using 3-axis electronic stabilization (ISE). The ultra-wide-angle camera is capable of shooting a maximum of 4K at 30 FPS. ISE can be activated on any of the cameras, including the front one. Night 4K videos from ROG Phone 6 Pro look just as good as daytime ones, with lots of detail, minimal noise and natural colors. This is one of the first smartphones based on the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor. In addition, the novelty was equipped with 18 GB of LPDDR5 RAM. Performance is highly dependent on the selected mode. For example, in the standard, aimed at better autonomy, during the throttling test, the maximum performance drops to about 60%. When activating the X mode, the performance does not fall below 80%, and if you use the X Plus mode with the connected Aeroactive Cooler 6, then on average you get about 90% with constant jumps up to 100%. In the standard performance mode, Genshin Impact at maximum graphics settings runs at an average frequency of about 59 frames per second with drawdowns of up to 45 FPS in complex scenes, and the temperature reaches 44 degrees Celsius. When X mode is activated, stable 60 FPS is obtained most of the time with drawdowns up to 50 and heating to an uncomfortable 48 degrees Celsius. The cooler reduces the temperature by 5–10 degrees Celsius. The new Apex Legends mobile shooter with extreme HD graphics settings runs at a stable 60 FPS even in standard performance mode, but sometimes lag slip. Activating X mode solves this problem, although it increases the temperature of the gadget. A pair of batteries located in the upper and lower parts of the case is responsible for the autonomy. Their total capacity is 6,000 mAh. Tests show that in Genshin Impact with maximum graphics settings, about 11% of the charge is lost in 20 minutes. Apex Legends Mobile Extreme HD eats only 6% in the same amount of time. F-Zero GX with Dolphin emulation spends 7% in 20 minutes. Call of Duty Mobile consumes 9% in half an hour. There is support for fast 65-watt charging. With it, the energy reserve is replenished by 25% in about 6 minutes, half in 15 minutes, and fully in 36 minutes. At the same time, the phone heats up to 43.5 degrees Celsius. Asus ROG Phone 6 Pro is one of the most powerful smartphones with the largest set of features for gamers. It has a high-quality screen, excellent sound and generally a good camera. But it was not without drawbacks. So, gaming design may not suit everyone. In addition, you can unlock its maximum potential only with a separately purchased branded cooler.